Just keep paddling, just keep paddling, just keep paddling.
Welcome back to 340 Paddler, and I want to talk today about the bane of so many paddlers' existence while on the 340, sunburn. Why is sunburn such an issue? Well, there is no shade on the Missouri River. For most of the day, there will not be shade from trees or anything else. You're going to be wishing there were some shade. And in July and August in Missouri, apparently clouds don't exist. And when they do, it means something horrible is coming. See the video on storms. But there is an answer. There are things we can do. Now let's start with the basic symptoms of sunburn. Everyone kind of knows this. It starts with obvious redness of the skin, blistering. If you get to the point of blistering, it's bad. Painful to the touch, tingling, all the way up to dehydration, dizziness, and nausea. And that's where you're starting to get into sun poisoning and some other issues. You want to do everything you can to avoid it. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, in 2012, this is a picture of me at the end of the race, enjoying a popsicle, and you will note a couple of serious problems. This is day 4, Friday, about 1 o'clock when I rolled in. You'll notice that my legs are horribly burned. You'll also notice that they're horribly pasty. Yes, I'm from Wisconsin. But the burned part is because I didn't sunscreen my legs on a regular basis and burned the heck out of them. And my face and my ears, which are gigantic anyway, but get really sunburned, my hands, everything got horribly sunburned. Why? Because I put sunscreen on at Caw Point, got all the way to Lexington before I put it on again, and then all the way to Waverly, and I was only putting it on every checkpoint, and that was not enough. By day 2, I had so sunburned myself that as the sun came up, it burned and hurt all day just to be touched by the light of the sun. By the way, these tips will apply to ground crew as well, because they will be at places like Lexington with no shade, or Chamois or Hartsburg, where you're going to be out in the sun for quite some time. So make sure that you are also protecting yourself against the sun. The most obvious way of doing this is going to be sunscreen. Use sunscreen. Buy stock in sunscreen. Go to Costco, get the 5-gallon pail of sunscreen, and use it. And use it all. And use it regularly. Now, the easiest way to do this from a paddler perspective, if you're in the boat, get one of those spray-on, not the pump, because that will get slippery and problematic. Your hands won't work real well. But the spray-ons that are aerosol. I know, they're full of chemicals, they're bad for the environment, but it is the best way to do this on the 340, at least as far as I've found. And what you do is every so often, for me, it's usually about halfway between checkpoints during the day, as well as at checkpoints, I will spray myself down. And you're spraying the back of your hands, you're spraying your face, you're spraying your ears, your neck, etc. Do not spray your palms. That's why you're using the spray, so that you're not getting your hands greasy. It gets really bad. How often? It's up to you. For me, it's about every 2 to 3 hours that I will reapply. It will be more often on day 1 because it seems to build up on your skin. And when your skin is an inch thick with sunscreen, I think you can go 3 to 4 hours, maybe. And remember one thing, you are constantly essentially swimming, because you're probably going to be wet a lot with paddle splash and everything else. That's washing sunscreen off. That's going to be causing an issue. So make sure you're constantly reapplying. Otherwise, this happens. So this is from 2018. I had finished the race, and I was constantly pulling my sleeve up to cover the watch. So my hand was not badly sunburned, but the sleeve kept slipping down to, well, this level, which resulted in this really nasty looking blister, and that's from not putting sunscreen on that very small section next to my watch. Use sunscreen. What else can you do? Clothes. Clothes are easy. By the way, not all clothes will block all sunburn. I have had years where I have burned through my rash guard, through my shirt. So keep that in mind. Ideally, you want to cover pretty much every inch of your body with clothing. More specifically, you need to wear a hat, sunglasses, obviously they're on my head here. Obviously, by the way, from the musculature, this isn't me. Just saying. A long sleeve rash guard. Now, these I buy cheap on Amazon. They cost maybe $10 or $15. The reason is they're never going to be clean again. I'm probably going to throw it out at the end of the race, so just buy whatever's cheap. And most of the time, some of them have SPF, some of them don't. Don't count on it. At least apply sunscreen when you change your rash guard, which usually I change my rash guard once a day. So you would put sunscreen on underneath it. Shorts for modesty, because I usually cut a pee hole in the tights that go all the way to the ankle. I actually also wear water shoes, but for that spot between the tights and the water shoes, I take a pair of socks, just old tube socks or cheap tube socks. I cut the foot off and I put on the ankle portion to cover that piece between the tights and the water shoe. It looks stupid, but when you don't have crazy blistering around your water shoe, trust me, you will thank me. Been there, done that, 2016. Ultimately, we want to get you to the beginning and to the end and give you as comfortable an experience as you can have while paddling 340 miles. Keep in mind, it's not going to be comfortable, but at least sunburn is going to be one less thing you have to worry about. So until next time, this is 340 Paddler, hoping that you keep your paddle in the water.